please.
All right, we call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I move to add an item to the agenda.
Okay.
I'd like to add it in the G, new business, and place it at number 6 at the end of that.
Okay, what is it?
Selling and leasing city property.
Okay.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is the approval of the agenda as amended.
Move we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is the consent agenda. Any questions or concerns on that? I'll take a motion to approve.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is public comments. Do we get any email public comments or? Special reports. Transportation 2040 amendment. Glenn?
Well, that's, I believe, from the MPO. If you have any questions about that, that's just kind of a standard report that they put out there. We're part of the organization. I think, Brian, do you still attend those up there? Or?
I'm not in the position that I have to attend,
Okay.
so it rotates between Lecompton and Eudora and Baldwin. So this year, I think
Oh, I
it's
see.
Eudora. So, but I'm technically still on. Yeah.
Still on that. So, so they update their plan every once in a while and whatever. So that's just information they wanted to share with us. That's it. So if you have any questions about it.
Any questions on that? New business, number 1 is contract for sale for city lot located at 1100 Indiana Street. The vacant lot there next to it has some flood zone on it. Any discussion on this item? No, I'll
I move that we approve the sale of 1100 Indiana Street to Alan and Amy Wright for $12,500.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item is a contract for sale of city property located at 620 Indiana Street. Any discussion on that item? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the sale of 620 Indiana Street to Skyview Properties for $90,000.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item is the 2021 chip seal bids. Rob?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. I have for your consideration tonight the 2021, what would be our Phase 2 chip seal bids. This year we did a little something different. We combined our bid with Douglas County and 2 or 3 other entities into one large bid. So first off, big thank you to Nolan Packard. He took the lead on this project. He brought all the entities together, talked to us, asked us if we're willing to go in on a one large contract. He advertised for the bids. He compiled the results, notified all the cities, and kept us all on task, which is no small feat. So big thank you to Nolan on that. Vance Brothers was the only bidder we got. Nolan was expecting at least one other bid, APAC, but they did not bid on the project. As you know, Vance Brothers was our contractor last year for our Phase 1. Our portion of the bid committed $106,936.45, and that covers a little over 5 miles of resurfacing. As compared to last year, we did about 3.5 miles and spent about $102,000 last year. So the bids came in really good. And so I'm really happy that we went with Douglas County on this. We got a lot better deal for this. And you know, to kind of build on that a little bit, the relationships that we have and our foreman with Douglas County, I can't say enough. That really began on the North First Street project, working with them closely on that and getting to know them. And I'm learning so much working with Nolan. He is great. He's been great with helping me, and I just can't say enough about those type relationships. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to working with them more in the future. Anyway, on the bid, staff recommendation is to approve the Vance Brothers bid in the amount of $106,936.45. Answer any questions you might have.
And that is less than the budget amount, correct?
There was 135 in there for widening and resurfacing this year, yes. So it came in way out. We were figuring about 135, 140. It was a huge chunk, and I didn't know if we'd be able to do it or not. It was aggressive. We have a little bit of work left to do on Santa Fe Drive and Dearborn Circle, but we'll be ready for them. We're anticipating probably mid-June they'll be here to do this work for us, as well as the warranty work from phase 1. They'll be here to do that as well.
So if I'm remembering right from Fire Tree, the goal is to get it in good shape first and then chip and seal over
Right.
it. And that way you don't have to keep
Yeah.
save cost on the pavement underneath.
I'm not sure if the map ended up in the packet or not.
It did.
But this is the area that we focused on last summer, all the chipping
Yep.
and seal, or the crack
Roadwork.
sealing and the mill overlay that we did, the patching and potholing. So this summer we'll be working on phase 3. We'll be focusing on phase 3 primarily. And there's spots around town that have to be done, but primarily we'll spend all of our time working towards phase 3, getting it ready for next year.
And the idea is that once everything's chip and sealed, you're just chip and sealing
You
afterwards.
start over.
Yeah, but no more.
Right.
You shouldn't have to do any more.
But if we can continue this pace, I initially thought it would take 6 years. I think we can do it in 4 to 5. We may have to back out a year if we do some overlay, specifically that maybe by the new police department. That's, it's terribly expensive to mill overlay, but that might slow us down a little bit, which might push us out to 5 years, but
Sure.
I think we'll get it done quicker than 6 years.
Could you explain some of the different service and why we're going with a different type of?
Yeah, so last year we used haydite, which has got the reddish, it's a real fine material. This year we've decided to go with granite material. It's more of a white colored, little coarser. We felt like that given the streets, there's more straightaways, not as many cul-de-sacs. Quite frankly, I'm not sure that the haydite did what we wanted it to do last year. We did have some problems with it. I don't blame Vance Brothers for that. I think part of it was time of year. They kind of got a late start on it, which is, they have been excellent to work with. Anything we've asked of them, they've come back and done it. They've swept it multiple times for us. We've identified areas that need warranty work. All the cul-de-sacs will be done, by the way. And then areas that we've identified, that light spots and spots that come up, they're going to come back and probably do the same time that they're here doing the other chip seal for us. It will be a different type of material, and it will look a little different. And it's a little cheaper than haydite. Haydite was the top of the line, the best stuff you could get, the lowest dust, and the smallest aggregate. But that's why we decided to go with granite this year. I went and toured Wellsville and talked to, of course, Nolan at the county. He helped out, with our decision on that. And Wellsville's real happy with granite. That's all they use on all of their streets is granite. And so we thought we'd give it a try.
Any other questions for Rob? Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Any further discussion from the council? No, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the 2021 chip and seal bid.
I second.
Been moved and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is appointment of library board member. Frank Foy indicated that he is interested in serving on the library board, so that is who I am recommending to the council to appoint. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the appointment of Frank Foye to the library board.
Second.
Been moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item is the CDBG CV, Baldwin City Academy of Dance and Voice application.
So we're coming to where we need to use or lose our funds for the CDBG grant. We did have another applicant, and that's the Baldwin Academy of Dance and Voice. And they were approved for $21,021.12. So that's what we would need to approve for tonight. We do have a couple of others that had already been approved, but they did put in some more, and so that should take care of all of our outstanding funds available.
Great.
Awesome.
That's
Good
good.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure we're gonna be able to get
Yeah.
But we had to
More
try to get
difficult
that
to
fit
give
in
away
tonight.
money than I would have thought.
Qualifications.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the sticking point.
Yeah.
It's the qualifications.
yeah.
That's great.
All right, any further discussion on that agenda item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the CDBG funding for Baldwin Academy of Dance and Voice for the amount of, just saw it, $21,021.12.
Second.
Been moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
My packet for tonight is not loaded. That's why I'm a little quiet.
Normally
here.
stumble through these that don't have the
I'm
narrative.
just, I'm going blind right now.
Next item on the agenda is selling and leasing city property. Julie?
I've kind of been wanting to bring this to the council, just so we can discuss it. It seems like we don't really have a policy that lets us know how to list things to sell or to lease, and I think it doesn't show much transparency to the citizens, because I don't think everybody has a chance to see what's available and that they can move forward if they're interested in that.
Julie brought this to my attention, was it Thursday? Thursday or
Last
Friday sometime. So I talked to Glenn about it. When Glenn was hired, it was kind of, and Blake can chime in all at once, but it's under the law, we kind of have full authority on to do what we need to, but it was kind of delegated to Glenn at that time. My intent was to talk about it in CDC and bring something back for the council once the CDC could discuss it. I did have Blake look at it. He got back with me today, and that's kind of was your interpretation, correct, Blake?
Yeah, and Julie, I apologize. You emailed me on this like a week and a half ago, and so I apologize for not getting back to you on it. I don't know how it slipped through. But yeah, so I did a little bit of research, and then I confirmed with the league kind of what I saw, which is just from a standpoint of statutory, it's just kind of this general power that the governing body has and to sell or lease property. I don't see that we have any like written, like policy on how we go about doing it. It's been more just the governing body delegated it to Glenn. And then obviously it comes before you all for approval.
So yeah, if that's something that us as a council would like to take a look at, I think we definitely could. It's kind of, that's your guys' discretion. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you want to take a stab at it, CDC, and bring it back before the council. Is
Yeah, we
that?
can look at CDC.
Glenn, in your experience in other towns, is this kind of common that there's a lack of a policy saying dictates how that happens?
Yeah, it's really all over the map, because there is, like Blake said, it's, the state statutes are very general about us, and some cities have more of a specific policy for selling and leasing property. Some is just wide open, let city manager, city administrator manage the property, sell it, whatever, and it's everything in between. So there really is no set way to do it in Kansas. It's one of the good things about local state government's kind of left that alone. They've done some other things as far as their budget authority and whatever, but that they haven't really touched at all. So it's however really the governing body wants to approach it. So yeah, I've seen it many different ways. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, there's no one set way to. There's no one great business model to follow on that one.
I feel there should be a policy for it. I think it should be always publicized so that people are aware of it. I mean, how do you decide who to lease something to? I don't get it, so.
Yeah, traditionally it's been like first come, first serve, like we're next to this public works building. We had that open as an incubator or whatever, and really just the people who approached me first and wanted to do it, and those are the ones who got in.
But how do people know that it's available?
Yeah, I don't even know how they knew, because they came, I never advertised anything, they're just calling me, which people do know right now about other property. They just call and ask what's available and how we go about it. So there wasn't any real advertisement or anything about it.
Right, because I didn't know anything about it until businesses were moving into that public works building. And I didn't know what we were doing with the old police station either. And I've heard it's being remodeled, so, and that's in that city property. So I just think it's not transparent to the citizens on what's available and how you go about deciding who gets to do it.
Well, we can assign this to the CDC, take it there, work on policy, and bring it back for the council for all of you. That'll work for everybody?
Okay.
Julie?
We'll see how it goes.
Council committee reports, budget and finance.
We've not met since the last meeting. Next budget meeting is May 21st at 7:55 a.m.
You're the next one. Community
CDC has not met since the last meeting. Next meeting is May 24th at 4 p.m.
development. Public safety, Susan?
We finally landed on a new date. We're meeting Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Public works, Julie?
Well, as usual, the guys have been really busy, so I've got several things to cover. The water service for the new car wash is in, and Rob's in communication with Rural Water District number 5 regarding our rural customers, and he'll continue to update us on that. The pool has been power washed and all painting is complete. They were going to start building it this week. 9 of the pool lights have failed. The replacements have been ordered and expect them around the first week of June. The West Water Tower exterior restoration has been completed and sporting the new city logo, and the mixer that we talked about in the summer has been installed. And then back on March 27th, the pump number 2 failed at the water pumping station. The cause was due to a low voltage caused by a transformer failure owned by Evergy. The new pump has been installed, and Rob, being the awesome person he is, filed a claim with the insurance, and we received pretty much the total cost of that of $33,600. The clay valves I talked about at previous council meetings that were original in 1978 have been installed by the Public Works crew. And BG Consultants are going to take care of the panel issue at Sullivan Square. A presentation was given regarding the new solar field, and information is still being gathered on that. And Roger Boyd is going to do an inspection of the trees at the cemetery, and then when his study is concluded, he will present that to the council. Our next meeting is June 10th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Julie. Legislative.
We met, I believe it was last week, and we talked about the need for a simple BYOB ordinance for Sullivan Square. We got a big summer coming up, and for our cornhole playing citizens, so they can enjoy themselves there properly. We also talked about exploring or revisiting the concept of common consumption. Amber's got a file about this thick, and Blake has done exhaustive work on that topic. That's probably not something that needs to live in legislative committee, but we brought it up anyways and talked about it. It might be a CDC thing. It might also be something that our Main Street committees, as they're formed, take a look at. If you don't know what common consumption areas are, look up City of Lenexa. Their new city complex is a common consumption area. And Amber's got tons of information you probably have for that. So if that's something CDC is interested in over the long haul, taking a look at is the face of downtown changes. So the other thing we talked about is moving forward with the strategic plan and getting together with KU to see what we can do. I don't have a date for our next meeting. Scott's not here, so I will get with Scott. I'm sure you'll have to email me and remind me to email you back. We'll get that taken care of as soon as we know.
All right. City administrator comments.
Working on the budget with that.
Any other staff comments?
Pretty much it.
That's it. That's my man.
That's it.
Any other council comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
And then we adjourn.
Second.
Move to second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes, we're adjourned.